In a surprise victory, Republican Bob Turner beat out his Democratic opponent in a heavily left-leaning district in New York. President Obama should take this as a warning sign, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
He should take this very seriously.
This is, I would say, somewhat more than concern and maybe a little less than panic. But no, this is bad news.
A direct rebuke of his policies.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, as your friend Scott Rasmussen was mentioning, these special elections are always particular, and there's some things about this one, a heavy Orthodox Jewish vote in here, which had a big impact, and the gay marriage that fit in with some of those religious voters. But yeah, it's a heavily Democratic district. The Dems should have won it. They got creamed, and that's a warning shot.
Yes, since the 1920s, there hasn't been a Republican in there. But I attribute it to a lot to Ed Koch, the former mayor, because people love Ed Koch in this community. And he came out and he said he wanted to make it a referendum about the president's relationship with Israel.
Yeah, and that's a very important issue in that district. David Weprin, who was the Democratic candidate, had
a Jewish Democratic candidate.
That is true, but you know, believe me, the politics of the New York Jewish community get very complex, and he was at war with some.
What does it say about the Jewish vote, though, in our country?
Well, it's an area, part of our electorate that Barack Obama's having some trouble with right now, and if he's going to win re-election, he needs to get to, up into the 80% at least of the Jewish vote.
Considering the timing of this special election and this huge Republican win, would you say that it's time to scrap this whole stimulus thing right now? Because obviously it's not, you know, addressing the real concerns of Americans right now.
Yeah, no, I think exactly the opposite. I think this is the time that the president needs to be staunch and strong, doing actual things that create jobs. Listen, I wish he'd be more aggressive about it. I think he's been too wishy-washy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's a lot of things in that jobs bill that he pointed out Republicans are for. The problem is when you present something to Congress knowing that if you're going to ask for it to be paid for with nothing but taxes, it takes money out of the economy. You don't raise taxes in a fragile economy. And you know the Republicans aren't going to go for it. And it's so transparent that it doesn't work for the president then to be able to come back and say those mean Republicans won't vote for jobs.
No, Tom, you're not one of those Republicans who thinks we should defeat this just because it would hurt the president.
Of course not. Of course not. I want to see people get. I want to see people get to work. Why don't they?
At this point, Ellis, here's what bothers me. You sound a little bit like the guy who was giving advice to the captain of the Titanic, right? Oh, there might be an iceberg. No, full speed ahead. Every time I ask the Democratic operatives, you go back to the election in New Jersey and Virginia. Hey, not a big deal. Scott Brown, not a big deal. Midterm elections, not a big deal. Full speed ahead. Do you hear the message of this country right now?
Well, listen, but the answer isn't to throw up your hands to Americans who are not working and say there's nothing we can do about it. Maybe tax cuts and giving the rich people more money is going to solve the problem.
I'm getting a rap signal, but I just want to say real quick. Is the president guilty of just assuming that a core constituency is going to vote for him anyway? In this case, the Jews, but also blacks and Hispanics, and all these groups feel like he's doing nothing for them.
Here's the reality. Both of these parties have core constituencies that will vote for them no matter what. The fight is really over the independents, and that's why this district is worrisome to the president.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Ellis. You took a lot of body blows and you fought back.
You know what? Keep coming back.